This course, it's not an academic course. Specifically, now we are talking about God-centered leader. I'm interested in you discovering what God has put in the inside of you that we've all been waiting for to see, so that you can help solve our problems in our community. So the course is designed to help you to begin to think differently, for you to become confident in your leadership, so you can do what God has called you to do. And so the application of the lessons is for you to apply them in your own personal life to become a better person. Just the way God designed you to become, not you studying so that you can pass a test. At the end of each course, the two that I'm doing, at the end of it, there's an assignment that you'll be required to do. That assignment is designed to draw the best out of you. That I would like you to tell me what you have understood. For example, I'm going to ask for a definition of leadership. I don't want you to write the definition that is in that book. I would like you to write how you understand leadership in your context. Let me tell you a story. Do you all know September 11th? You know September 11th? It's a normal day, but it means something, right? Because of what happened in the world. Who can tell us what happened?
Bombing of the Twin Towers in the US.
Very good. Let's clap for Matthew. Very good. Now, let me tell you a story of what happened September 11th. The first plane hit one of the towers. And people thought it was just an accident, it was an explosion, they didn't think it was a plane. The other people who were in the other twin tower, the other building, they heard about it, but they continued working. And then next is that when they saw the fire coming from the other building, and they got information that a plane had crashed into that building, they panicked. So everyone now started running out of that building. And as they were running, there were three gentlemen who walked out from their corner offices. They were top executives. And the suits they would put on suits for $3,000. How much is that in Ugandan shilling?
3 million.
$3,000. Somebody calculate. 11 million. Imagine wearing a suit for 11 million. That's how these executives, that's how rich they were, how powerful they were. So they were running there with their briefcases. They went and they got into an elevator. When they got into an elevator, a janitor came in as well. A janitor, those who clean, the mop and the bucket. So they came in, he joined in, and he got into the elevator. They pressed the button and the elevator was going down. As it was going down, the second plane came and hit that second tower where those people were. And when the plane hit that building, the power was cut, like we had a power cut, and the elevator jumped. So the generators, the emergency generators tried to come on, and they couldn't because the power lines were severed. They started trying to make some phone calls to get help. But remember now that because this second plane had hit the building, they decided to shut the entire airspace in New York, meaning that you couldn't make a phone call out unless you are an emergency worker and you had an emergency phone or an emergency line. So now everybody's stuck. So now people started panicking. They're trying to call and their phones are not going through. And they're thinking, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? So the janitor, he had a mop stick, and so he took that mop stick, boom, broke it into half, and then he took the sharp part and put it in between the doors of the elevator and pushed there. And when he pushed them, they made some space, and he put his two hands and then started pulling those doors. He managed to pull the doors open because that's the way they're designed, that if there's an emergency, they should be able to open when you pull them. So he pulled them, and now this is what happened. The elevator got stuck in between two floors. So for example, using this pulpit, when it stopped, half of the elevator was here, and here it's another floor, it's a wall. So there was just a little space at the top. So that janitor, because he's the one who would clean and mop the staircase and the floors, the corridors and whatnot, he knew exactly where they were. But these executives, they worked on the top floor, they didn't even know where they were. So he says to them, gentlemen, I'm going to push you, I'm going to lift you and push you, you are going to crawl out. When you crawl out, I want you to run all the way to the end of the hallway. When you get there, you will find a door. And you push it, it's an emergency door. When you push it, you find stairs, just run all the way down, you end up in the garage, in the basement. From there, you run and you'll be out. So he started with the first one, he pushed him. The second one, third one, they were out. And then eventually, he came out. Weeks later, one of the TV agencies decided to do interviews for people to tell stories of how they survived September 11th. And so during that time, people were telling, and these three men, when they heard there was this program, they decided to go to this TV station to tell the story that I've just told you. So when they told the story, the interviewer said to them, what made you come and want to tell the story? And this is the response. We wanted to come and tell our story because we wanted to say thank you to the gentleman who helped us get out. If it wasn't for him, we would have died. So we don't know whether he's watching, but we just wanted to tell him wherever he is, wanted to say thank you. Now, when I heard that story, something grabbed my attention. Remember, they didn't even know his name. And at that moment, I understood what leadership is. Those men could wear suits for $3,000, 11 million. But when they got stuck in that elevator, who was the leader? The cleaner, right? The janitor was the leader. Why was he a leader? He was a leader because he solved a problem. They found themselves in a problem, and their education, their degrees, their doctorates could not solve the problem. But this guy, who probably didn't even finish school, was able to solve a problem. And in that instant, I recognized the way we are going to change Africa, the way we are going to change our communities, is not to wait for people with lots of money. Us Africans should solve our own problems. When we solve our own problems in our communities, we are leaders. We become leaders. Every one of you in this room, don't tell me that you are not a leader. The translation you are doing, you are solving a problem for your community. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is problem solving. Tell your neighbor you are a leader.
You are a leader.
Does that make sense? So from today, I don't want you to be walking around with your heads bent down. I'm not a leader, I'm just a follower. You are a leader, not because you have a title, but because you are solving problems for your community. You're solving problems in your family. You're solving problems in your church. Don't go there and wait for leadership and waiting for a title. As Africans, we must change our mind. And this week, I'm going to provoke you. I'm going to challenge you to start thinking differently. Because I believe every one of you, you are a leader.
Amen. Thank you.